predictions, the idiosyncrasies even that challenged us this campaign. I love you and all of your humanity, wrapped up in 6 quadrants, 12 bridges, 653,000 people who call this beautiful city home. And I love that over half of Portland voters went not for the status quo, but for change this election. Off the bat, I would be remiss if I didn't thank my campaign treasurer and advisor, James Offsink, who is a civic gem, an absolutely instrumental change maker, who's been helping lead us through good government reforms like honest elections and police reform and accountability. He led us in the open and accountable elections process, saw us through the Supreme Court decision on honest elections. And he's also the first person that I told I was running for mayor, and he supported me wholeheartedly in that decision. But he was also instrumental in first suggesting that I hire Gregory McKelvey to run this campaign. And I definitely want to offer sincere gratitude to Greg and his wife for picking up their family and their life from Atlanta, Georgia, and moving back across the country to run this campaign. Greg worked tirelessly since last July. He was even leading us before he got here from their road trip back to Portland. He assembled and led amazing teams in both the primary and general elections. And I'll thank all of you, our team members, personally for your hard work once we've all slept a few days. It's been a long cycle. I just want to tell you, these teams have been so amazing. They've coordinated hundreds of active volunteers. Nearly 1,000 people have volunteered on this campaign. Those volunteers and our incredible staff distributed 2,500 lawn signs by bike, some houses multiple times, to every corner of the city. They've made somewhere close to 60,000 phone calls, and they sent nearly 400,000 text messages. And every day I watch them as they answered thousands of emails and social media requests from voters. To the thousands of you who donated, you made history with this election. You showed that this campaign was possible when many refused to believe. To my endorsers, thank you for being there. To my friends and confidants, thank you for supporting me. To my daughter, thanks for picking up my slack and walking the dog, and I'm looking forward to taking some downtime with you. And to everyone who voted for me, thank you. I'm humbled by this community's support for a courageous mom on a fast bike with a bold plan for progress. You made a critical choice in this moment. It may not feel like it at this time, but you did some important things. You chose substance over spin. You chose the signal over the noise, and you chose progress over decline. And you have been a leading light in America's fight against fascism. And I am proud that my campaign showed America that everyday anti-fascism is not scary. And here in Portland, we are the front line of solidarity, protecting our most vulnerable communities. And that is why we must remain conscious of all the victories while conceding this one battle. And to that one end tonight, I want to make sure I say a hearty congratulations to Mayor Ted Wheeler for his victory. And I know, and I'm calling on all of you to remind you that it is our collective responsibility to empower Mayor Wheeler to succeed and also to hold him accountable. We must unify the city and move Portland forward with the leadership that we have. Together, we must push to become the city we all truly know it can be. Now is not a time for division. It is a time for unity, because we are facing serious problems: climate change, houselessness, police violence, racial inequality, and so much more. It's almost overwhelming, the amount of challenges that we're facing. But throughout this campaign, you told us, and we listened to what you believe you can bring to those challenges. You told us what you want the future to look like. And now, regardless who's in office, you need to hold our elected officials accountable for making these progressive changes happen. Listen, this is important because you told our campaign from day one that you want a healthy, inclusive democracy and big money out of politics. You showed up for us when we were qualifying for open and accountable elections. We hit that threshold in 1 month. That was twice as fast as we had budgeted. And since then, you've been blowing the doors off this effort. We have a democracy to attend to every day to make sure that this city government works for and listens to the people, not just corporations, not just white people, but all people. And we must create laws to ensure that Black Lives Matter goes from a rallying cry to a governing ethic in this city. And that means staying the course on honest elections, alternative voting methods, district representation, and more. And I'm encouraging you, stay actively engaged in the upcoming charter review process. That's where a lot of this work can be done. Another thing that you told us, you care deeply about compassionate, effective solutions to houselessness. This means we stop spending the bulk of our public safety dollars criminalizing people in poverty or with mental health issues or addiction, and reallocate those dollars toward proven, humane solutions with requisite urgency. Please continue to support Commissioner Hardesty as she leads us on this important reallocation of the municipal budget through a public health lens. House keys, not handcuffs, should remain our rallying cry. You told us that you want racial justice, climate justice, and economic justice for every resident of this city. And I encourage everyone who resists injustice to keep resisting. This was never about a single election. It has always been about rejecting state violence in favor of community peace. For as long as this government enacts injustice on us, we are within our inalienable rights to demand justice, including the abolition of systems which enact violence upon us. As we once led the nation on neighborhoods and transportation, Portland must now lead the world in owning up to the crimes of white supremacy that built this city and state. We must address the historic harms of disinvestment in Black Portland, in East Portland, in low-income Portland. We must put our money where our mouth has been for a long time, and we must move from diversity and equity-based rhetoric to justice-based investment in the people who make this city beautiful, creative, and resilient. Now I'm calling on all of you, whether you voted for me, Mayor Wheeler, or none of the above, to come together to ensure that he serves this city well as our mayor for the next 4 years. Together, we will continue to hold him accountable because we are a city that demands forward progress on the issues of our time, no matter who is in power. And we must rise to the occasion to ensure Portland can be an example to the rest of the country and to the world of what it looks like for people from different points of view to come together to heal and to create innovative solutions for a better future. This campaign was always about tactical optimism, the belief that in our darkest hours, we have to believe in each other and our collective power to make our city and the world a better place. Thank you, Portland. Through this campaign, you showed up for our future in ways I never dreamed possible. This is how I know our best is yet to come. While we're turning the lights off on this campaign for now, I'll continue to show up for you. Some people joke, but I always do it. I show up alongside you in support of our most vulnerable and in defense of our democracy. And I will continue to listen and learn from the Portlanders of all backgrounds who have a stake in the future of the city and want to come together to make sure that we are a city that works for everyone. It's my intention to keep fighting for you, Portland, to continue to be in service to this community in whatever form that takes. Stay together, stay tight until we come together to turn the lights back on. Thank you, Portland. Thank you very much.